I heard my in-laws talking about getting my wife back together with her ex. I am not the oop. Oop is you, palmequeso. I heard my in-laws talking about getting my wife back together with her ex. Originally posted to r, true off my chest. Trigger warnings. Emotional manipulation. Verbal abuse. Harassment. Bigotry. Less than. Original post January 9th, 2024. I'm sorry if I write something incorrectly. English is not my first language and I'm pretty horrible at it. I, 35 meters, have been with Abby, 35F, for 13 years now. Every day that goes by I love her more and we're even expecting our first baby. For the holidays we always stay 2-3 months visiting my wife's family, but the problem is that this year all the family was really excited, saying that Alan is coming. In all the years in the family I never heard of an Alan, and my wife didn't even cared about it, so I thought it was just some cousin. But the famous Alan was my wife's ex and first love. The man lives in Europe, but Abby's family still have contact with him and even invited the man to the house now he's in the country. I tried to get along with Alan, but the man just ignores me and takes every chance to get closer. With my wife making jokes or talking about the past. I didn't took it personal because I don't want to look jealous, but lately he has been coming every day to visit the family, and Abby's family started comparing his accomplishments to mine. They're all big fans of Alan, and I honestly feel jealous of that because they're treating him better than me. 2 days ago I heard my Mill and Bill talking about how nice it would have been for Abby to stay with Alan because he's a smart man. What hurt me the most was hearing my Bill say that he can try to get Alan and Abby back together, and my Mill just laughed, saying that it would be good to go on a trip to Europe every year and not to the countryside with the peasant. Talking about me because I live in a farm with my wife just because she always dreamed to live in that kind of quiet environment. In fact, now that I'm no longer blindfolded, I'm starting to notice how my Bill makes too many comments to my wife about how great Alan is. Although Abby never says kind things about Alan, and I think she even treats him like he's a child. I don't feel comfortable being here knowing that they see me as a dumb peasant, and it's horrible to see how they try to include Alan in the family when they still treat me like I'm just a casual boyfriend of Abby's, but my wife only sees her family these months of the year, and I don't want to ruin that or put that kind of stress on her since she's pregnant. I feel like I'm in some kind of rom-com, but I'm in the role of the bad husband. The protagonist leaves for the handsome CEO, haha. Relevant comments. Sunshine Bear 100. And what does your wife say? Oop, my wife just ignores Alan, and when my Bill says those things Abby just says, if you like Alan that much then F him, and the conversation ends. When I found out it's her ex, she just said, ah, yes. I dated him for 2 months when I finished high school, and made a disgusted face. I couldn't ask more because she has been really tired with the pregnancy and don't want to stress her more. Vegetable Cod 2340. I'm sorry they're this pressed for a guy she dated for 2 months over a decade ago. Op. Was Alan a family friend or something? It just feels weird that like him this much. Having known you for 13 years. Have they always disliked you? Oop, from what I heard he lived in the same neighborhood, but they were never close until Abby started dating him. When he moved to Europe the family still had contact with him through Facebook and WhatsApp, and even some members of the family stays in his house when they trip to Europe, so it seems the aunts and cousins are really close with him. They always made jokes about our farm life, and I know my Mill hates that Abby has gone to live so far away from them. She always hides her dislike for me, although I can feel the cold treatment she always gives me. My Bills always made it obvious that they didn't like me for taking their older sister away. The rest of the family treats me well or just normal, but Alan is really charismatic, plus they're all really extroverted people and I'm more in the quiet side, so I think it's easier for them to like him more. And NBSP. Update January 12, 2024. I found out my wife was cheating on me with Alan. Nah, just kidding. Thanks for all the advices I received. Many of them were very helpful and some were very weird ideas, like record conversations with my mill. Or have my wife choose between her family or me. Cold sweat smile. Maybe it's something cultural, but I would never give an ultimatum like that because to Emmy it's a really low blow to do. Here family is very important. After making the post and reading the comments, I decided to talk with Abby about what I heard. We were in our room and I talked about what her mother and brother said as calmly as possible. But the moment I finished telling everything, Abby just kissed my forehead and ran with her pregnant belly out of the bedroom to literally yell at everyone in the living room. No one spoke beside an aunt who tried to justify them by saying that they were just making jokes. To which I replied that they were uncomfortable and disgusting jokes. At some point Abby told her mother something like, "Whether you like it or not, I'm married to this man. I'm going to have this baby with him and many more. So shut up and bear with it." Then my wife yelled at her brothers and went with them to talk in private. My BILs talked with me and admitted that they were only doing that because they believed I was forcing Abby to marry and live in a farm far away from the family, when it was actually Abby's idea to get married in private and live in the farm. So all this years it has just been a misunderstanding. The three brothers apologized to me and were really embarrassed about their behavior, saying they only invited Alan to mess with me. After that, most of the family members apologized to us. Abby told everyone that she doesn't want to see Alan in the house anymore while we're here. She's not going to forbid them to talk with him, but doesn't want to see him near her because it's uncomfortable. Mill tried to complain, but Abby just said, "Shut up, Mom," and left the living room with me. In the bedroom, Abby confessed to me that she also felt uncomfortable, but since Alan is a friend of the family, she preferred not to say anything other than throw passive-aggressive comments at him. For example, after New Year's we were all eating and Alan stroked her belly without asking. To which my wife said, "Do it again and I'll bite you." So he never did that again. Abby even said that in an opportunity she actually talked with Alan and told him that she dislikes being touched by other people, but Alan said she was overacting and left her talking alone. I feel really stupid for not noticing how uncomfortable my wife also was feeling, because after that is when she stayed most of the times in the bedroom when Alan was in the house, with the excuse she was tired because of the pregnancy. Just out of curiosity, I asked her why she broke up with Alan if he's such a cool man, because I'll admit it, he's really charismatic, and Abby told me that he always treated her like if he knew everything and explained things that she already knew every time they talked. Abby never felt the need of talking about that relationship because it wasn't relevant, and she sees me as her first love and not Alan. I apologized to Abby for not noticing how uncomfortable she was and only looking at my own feelings without talking about it as a couple, and Abby also apologized for the same. We promised to communicate this kind of thing to each other no matter what. Yesterday we went on a date together, and when we came back my Mill looked very unfriendly, but she apologized to my wife, to which Abby said she should apologize to me. So Mill and I talked for a while alone, and although I'm still upset, we promised to at least be civil with each other for Abby and the baby. We decided to the next time stay in one of my hotel rooms while we're here. Even if it's a 3-hour drive, it would be better for us to be comfortable, and 3 months in my in-laws' house was always really tiring, so it's something we should have did earlier. For now, Alan is not longer in the picture because yesterday I got his number to send a message clarifying why he can't come back and why I don't want him near my wife. The man just blocked me without answering. I guess he understood, but if he didn't, I don't have any problem in going to talk about it face to face. PD. I showed Abby the Reddit post and she didn't had any problem with me asking for an advice. I'm even posting this now with her hugging my arm. I love this woman a lot. Relieved face. PD2. Alan come back to the country because he divorced his wife and is filtering with any woman the way, so it seems he thought it was a great idea to try and flirt with my pregnant wife. Relevant comments. Dr. Kitty, love a yay for your wife. I appreciate her so much for listening to you, supporting you, and not delaying a single moment in setting her family straight. She sounds amazing, as does your marriage and connection. And I'm so happy this situation seems to have only made you stronger as a couple. And maybe as individuals, too. And one more thing. I am very vocal about one having autonomy and full control over who touches them and when. Included in this is pregnant women and the tendency for people to help themselves to a tummy touch without permission from the mama. It enrages me that people feel entitled to the body of another person in any way like that. Reading that Alan touched Abby's belly made my blood boil. But I absolutely love her response that she will bite him if he does it again. She's feisty and that will continue to serve her well in her life and the life of her child. Oop. Same. Abby also hates when people touches her belly without asking. Even old ladies we don't notice that, and it's really uncomfortable for her. Abby always asks people not to do that, but most of them get offended by that. There are many people who do not respect the personal space of pregnant women with the excuse of caressing the baby. It's really annoying. And NBSP. This is a repost sub IAM not oop. OP's wife is a keeper. He is lucky to have such an amazing, strong and supportive partner. The wife's family sucks, and that can be said the same about Alan. What did they is pretty disrespectful and pretty stupid. Don't mess with Abby. Wish them well for a great happy life. For example, after New Year's we were all eating and Alan stroked her belly without asking. Ew ew ew. To which my wife said, "Do it again and I'll bite you," so he never did that again. I love this woman. What a bunch of disrespectful assholes. They didn't care about OOP's wife feelings. They thought they knew better. I'm picturing a heavily pregnant lady skipping to the living room with giddy abound, ready to let loose on her family. Go Abby. I found out my wife was cheating on me with Alan. Nah. Just kidding. Thanks for the heart attack. Oop. Fuck shit. And the mill can kick rocks. She wants her daughter to marry a guy her daughter dated for 2 months because he lives in Europe. When she complains about Oop living in the country. Please. Shout out to OOP's wife and her spine. So often in this subreddit you see partners being complacent to their family's BS. This feels like a Filipino story, including the part where the farm owners will leave the farm on the holidays since you can always pay your neighbors to keep it up while you're gone. I just can't get over they have a farm that they just abandon for 23 months every year. Since Alan is a friend of the family, she preferred not to say anything other than throw passive-aggressive comments at him. For example, after New Year's we were all eating and Alan stroked her belly without asking. To which my wife said, "Do it again and I'll bite you." Round of applause to OOP's wife, but that's more aggressive than passive LMFAO. Pregnancy shirts with the no touching symbol that say, "I will tase you," and then a pocket for a taser. You could put a squirt pistol in it. LMAO. Wonder if the family loves Alan because they have the same kind of energy. Like it's crazy how her whole family was thinking that they knew better than her and that she hadn't the choice when it came to the farm's life. It feels like her family doesn't know her or got a wrong image of her, and it was long due for her to put them back in place. 3 months? I'm a grudge holder. I would never forgive any of those people. I don't understand why Alan wasn't given a reality check in all those 13 years by Opp or his wife. I think Oop is confusing, charismatic, with douchey. It was so clear even in the first post how much Abby disliked Alan. She showed no interest at any level. Glad Oop talked to her. It sounds like they have a really strong marriage. Also, "Do it again and I'll bite you" is just legendary. I stan this woman, I swear. Abby is my spirit animal. Maybe it's something cultural, but I would never give an ultimatum like that because to Emmy it's a really low blow to do. Here family is very important. Family is important to every culture. Some cultures just use it as a reason to excuse abuse.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.